If you can hang a picture, you can hang your sheer shades in no time. Today, I'm going to show you just how easy it is. Grab these simple tools and let's get started. All sheer shades have the same basic parts, the shade itself and the necessary mounting hardware. Today, I'm installing a cordless tassel sheer shade. Depending on the shade you ordered, the pieces or parts you have may be a little different. That's okay. You'll follow basically the same steps I'll go through here to hang them. Just be sure to check the instructions that came with your product before you start. If your shade came with these paper bands wrapped around it, leave them in place until the shade is installed. The same rule applies for the protective film covering the cassette. See these grooves on the top of the cassette? That's what the brackets latch onto to hold the shade in place. Refer to your installation manual if yours looks a little different. The first step is to mark where you want to place your brackets. We're going to attach the brackets above the window frame. The front of the bracket will face out from the window and the back of it hangs down like this. From the top left corner of the window, measure upward at least 1 inch and make a mark. In our case, we will place the mark at 2 inches. Repeat this step from the top right corner of the window. If you have more than 2 brackets, measure the same height and make evenly spaced marks between your first 2 marks. Then, position a bracket just over the far left mark and use a pencil to mark where the screws will go. Repeat this for any remaining bracket locations. Before drilling in the screws, it's a good idea to pre-drill the holes to make it easier to put them in. Place the bracket over the holes and drill the screws in. You may want to screw them in loosely to allow for small adjustments. Once the brackets are lined up, finish drilling the screws in all the way. Now we're going to put the shade onto the brackets. Position the cassette so the front of the shade faces you, and rest the top of the cassette on the top lip of the brackets. Then push the bottom front of the headrail firmly back toward the wall until it catches on the back of the brackets and snaps into place. Before testing the shade, you may now remove the protective bands and plastic film from the cassette. Now just pull the shade up and down a few times to make sure everything looks and works right. You always want to use the tassel to move the shade. Don't try to open and close it with the bottom rail. Another thing to remember about operating your sheer shade is that the slats in between the sheer fabric won't open unless the shade is pulled completely down. When you raise the shade, the slats close automatically. If you need to remove your shade, raise it fully into the cassette first. Reach up under it and press on the back of the bracket, which acts as a release tab. Lift the cassette off the brackets and out of the window. We hope you enjoy your beautiful new sheer shades from Select Blinds. If you have any questions or need any additional help, please see your product's installation guide on our website or just give us a call. We're here to help.